What's going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Deonte, and I'm back with another video. And I'm here with one of my favorite YouTubers, Asia. What's going on, Asia?
Hello. Thank you for
How you
having me.
doing?
I'm doing good. I am doing good. I was off today, so I had a little time to get some stuff done. So I am good.
Yeah, we have been planning this for a long time. It's finally a pleasure to meet you and a pleasure to be co-hosting and collaborating finally with somebody that's like-minded, positive. I love your channel. You're very welcoming. The content you produce is very engaging, family oriented. I love it. I love seeing you and hubby up there. Hubby just, he be serious, but hey, y'all balance each other out. I can tell y'all are equally yoked. I love seeing that chemistry up there.
Thank you. He's a little camera shy, but I'm trying to get
Yep, I get it. Yeah, but I wanted to bring you on to get a perspective from you about this topic I want to discuss. Now, the topic of this is about how do you believe that you can be a strong woman and still submit? Do you believe you can be a strong woman and still submit? I wanted to get a woman's perspective on this. On my channel, I do a lot of talking and I hold everybody accountable, men and women. But I look at the example you set on your platform, how y'all keep that family chemistry that is very family oriented. And I'm like, wow, just look at this couple. Y'all, the way you look at your husband, you look at him like you trust him. He's your covering. It's just like he means the world to you. And I'm like, wow, I would love to do something with her on these topics. I gave you a few topics or whatever. So I just wanted to just tap in with you about this. When we be on the internet or whatever, we see a lot of content out here. It's like when a man says the word submission, right? The internet go crazy. You feel me?
Yeah,
would you agree?
Almost a negative thing.
Right. And then women, they'll start talking about control, slavery, losing their independence. And then you got men starting to say, well, that's why they all still single. And that's why I ain't getting married and this and that. But here's the real question nobody wants to unpack. And that's the question I asked you. Can a woman be strong, independent, successful, and still submit to a man without losing herself? What do you think? What's your take on that?
Yes, so this question is important, and I literally have to wipe tears because as you were speaking, I was just thinking about how I got to where I am now, because it was a long journey. But to make a long story short, to just answer your question, and then I'll go back and explain, the answer is yes, absolutely yes. That you can still be independent, you can still be strong, you can still accomplish anything in the world that you want and still be a submissive partner to whoever you decide to marry. So with that being said, when I met my husband, I already had my bachelor's degree, master's degree. I was already, like 10 years into the military. I already knew what I wanted to be in life. I had already experienced things. I had been divorced. I had kids. So I was coming a full package already. And I had been a single parent since forever. My oldest son is 16. So I've always been a single parent. So I had to be strong. I had to do things on my own. I never had nobody to kind of fall back on to say, hey, I never needed or even wanted any child support. So it was all a me thing. So that was the burden that I carried with me. So that is something that I struggle with when I finally did meet my husband. But right. The thing is that I met a couple toads across, along the way, and if you don't have the right man, they won't bring that out of you. And that's kind of what I wanted to just kind of highlight when I discuss this, because I've been in different relationships and things, and some men are intimidated, and I'm just putting it out there, they're intimidated by successful women or have, some type of idea of what they are or how they should be. And that was my experience, because as soon as I opened my mouth, somebody would kind of like retreat, like they kind of felt like they weren't good enough for me. That was my experience. So when I met my husband, it was actually at the education center that's located on the military installation, and we were both there trying to get our scores up so that we could commission. So we just started to have a conversation, and then we slowly started to realize that, wait a minute, he's like kind of like a puzzle piece for me, like some things that I'm missing. So I immediately wanted to just turn into this soft woman. I didn't have to fight no more. That's what brought out of me. Like, I didn't have to be on my own. I didn't have to worry about my kids not having a father, none of that. So all of that happened very, very fast. So we met, we were friends for about a year. And then after that, we were full blown in a relationship. And kind of knew that that's what it was. So yes, submitting is just, for me, just like doing everything that I can just to make him happy, basically. That's how I feel overall. You know, listening to his thoughts and things, even if I don't necessarily agree with it, I'm just kind of like, okay, you the head, so what you say, you know. And then a big thing was my son, because he's always been, you know, the head of household because he was the male in the house, you know, and him having to step down from that role, and me as a mother to have to, you know, help him understand, you know, that I have a husband now, you know, and he's the head of this household, you know. So it was just a full circle thing for our family. And I had to submit. If I wouldn't have it never would have worked out between.
Okay, now how did that work out with having the son that felt like he was, you know, always the kind of the head, with him being, he's the oldest, correct?
Yes, he's the oldest.
With him being the oldest, and him, you know, you have do we have younger siblings as well?
Yes, so I had 2 children before we met.
Okay, yeah, 2 children before y'all met. Okay, so how did that work? How was it a struggle between hubby and son at first, for like, well, this is my house and it's been going this way, and then hubby coming in kind of reinforcing what mom says, and the husband coming in and just kind of laying the ground rules down, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? How did that work out?
Just by the grace of God, never had those type of struggles. And I think that was because me and my son are very close. So I was open with him and, you know, had long conversations about, hey, this is what's happening, you know, because we moved in together. I mean, it was just a whole nine, like everybody's life changed all of a sudden, you know, just having those conversations with your children and letting them know, hey, you know, this is the person that you're going to take all orders from, you know. So if he says what goes, you know. And my son had a different respect for him because he never really had his father in his life. So my husband came in like actually parenting him and, you know, showing up to those football games, giving him money, doing things, you know, spending time with him, you know, taking him and his friends places and stuff. So he built that connection with him that was outside of me. And that's, I think a lot of people don't do that. Their relationships and their kids and stuff separate. And then they don't like try to mend relationships when there's a problem, because kids break your relationship if you let them.
Yep. Now, I'm glad you said that. Now, have you ever struggled with submitting in any relationship, like in any kind of relationship you've been in, or do you know of, like, you have female friends? Have you ever seen people struggle with submitting in a relationship, and why?
Yes. Pretty much everyone that I know, they're in this same boat. All of my friends, most of them are not really in relationships. They kind of just hopping because they haven't found, you know, the man that they would be comfortable with, you know, being open with in that manner. But for me personally, I was in a long-term relationship a couple years back in the past, and it was perfect. You know, he took good care of me, and he was nice, and he, you know, wasn't abusive and crazy and all of that. But it was just something about him that, I don't know, like, I think it was the beginning of our relationship. He wasn't honest. So I wasn't able to fully trust him. So that's why. So I don't know what the reason for other women are. I can just think, but I know a lot of it has to do with trust. Because if I can't trust you, if you being suspicious with your phone and, like having all these different relationships and with other women that are kind of suspicious and things of that nature, then I would never submit to anybody like that. So I guess that's another thing I want to mention about my husband. I never had those issues. He just on wherever, I can go through it or don't go through it. I don't know, but he's always been completely open with his finances, just with everything. So I never had to ask, never had to question. And that was very, very important for me because I wasn't. Good.
A lot of transferring, y'all. That's good. And I got somebody that I got Merge Vision that want to come up and kind of tap in with us if that's okay with you.
Yes, that's nice. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, what's up, Merge Vision?
What's good, fam?
What's up?
Yeah, how y'all doing?
This is my homegirl, Asia, man. She got a nice channel. Make sure you tap in with her channel, man. She got a nice channel. I love it, man. I told her, man, she's become one of my favorite YouTubers, man. And she always rocking with the platform. She always supporting me, man. I appreciate her. But today's topic, we talking about, is it possible for a strong woman to still submit? She's been kind of giving me some input on a lot of things. I wanted to hear from her and get it from a woman's perspective about this particular topic. And I had another question for you real quick, Asia. Now, do you think a strong, independent woman can truly submit without feeling like she's losing herself? I want to hear your answer for that, Asia, and then Merge Vision. I want you to tap into that as well. And I'm going to tap into that.
Okay, so my answer is yes, just because I'm living it. I have my own life, outside of my husband. I have my own job and my own interests and things of that nature. So I feel like nothing has really changed. All he does is just support me from the background, So for the women that's out there that husbands don't support them and don't feel like, they have a true understanding of them, that's probably why they lose themselves, because sometimes people could be like in controlling relationships and stuff, and sometimes it's not even just the male. Both would be like, oh, you can't do this or you can't hang out with this person. And that's what causes the friction with not being able to, kind of like live a separate life. And that's the biggest thing when you in any type of relationship. If my life only involves just my husband, I will probably be stressed. And same with him. He has his own friends and he does his things on the weekends and he does his traveling and all of that. It has nothing to do with me, and I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, when we come back together, we got our family, we, unpack everything at night, and it's a beautiful feeling. So right. It's easy to lose yourself. Like, I'm not saying that it's not easy, just, I don't know, just being independent, especially when you have somebody that's willing to take care of you and, rub your feet and everything. You really don't need anything else or anybody else, but you have to still remain, those connections with other people.
Right. What's your opinion on that, Merge Vision? Do you believe that a strong, independent woman can truly submit without feeling like she's losing herself?
I say, yeah, but it depends on the situation, because a lot of women, well, I ain't gonna say a lot of women, but I feel like women that are strong or independent, it really comes down to finances. Like, I don't see a strong, independent woman who make more than her husband submit. Like, I just don't see that at all. But at the same time, though, what your friend was talking about, when it comes to just having your own things that you do outside a relationship to keep yourself whole, I think that is most definitely needed and most definitely what should happen, because you shouldn't put the pressure on the other person in a relationship to make you whole. You should already come in whole, and what they do is just an added benefit to what you already bring. But as far as the whole submission thing, I mean, I just think women have a hard time submitting to men that make more money than. Now, if it's the other way around, the man make more money and he's a good man and he provides to do this and that, then yeah, I can see women submitting to that. But if it's the other way around, where she makes more money than him, he still can be the good guy, still there supporting and this and that, but she make more money. I see that being a harder route because of the hypergamy nature just in that sex. Not all women. I ain't gonna say all women like that, but I just think, being fair, based on what we see out here today in these streets, that's what's gonna happen, though, bro. Like, but at the end of the day, yeah, I most definitely believe in a relationship, any good relationship, you should be independent, have your own friends, have your own things that you do, so you can keep yourself busy and don't lose yourself in a relationship because you don't want to put that pressure on your partner, making your partner responsible for your happiness. Nah, we're not doing that. But your partner should not detract from you being the person you are. They should just make sure and add to you being happy, you know what I'm saying? But they're not responsible for it. Like that's what a lot of people do. They make the other person in a relationship responsible for their happiness. When no, you should be happy before you even got with me. I'm just the cherry on the top. Like I don't want to take away from what you got going on. Shit, whatever you was doing before you met me, keep doing that. I liked you because that's what you was doing. Like before you was doing what you was doing before we met. And I was cool with it when we was dating, so I'm cool with it when we was together. So don't switch that up and try to, no, we're not doing that. Anything I bring though, is just an addition to what you already was doing anyway. I'm just adding to what you already is.
Right.
So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, well, the way I feel about it, I believe an independent woman can submit depending on the circumstances. A lot of people are only submissive based upon conditions. It's conditional submission, right? Independent woman will submit if she's like, I'm gonna use me as an example. I was dating an older woman, right? That was very well established. Didn't need me for real, like from a financial part, but she had a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she was kind of submissive, but I would find her treat me like she was my mama sometimes. For real, like she would question me, like she would go through my Facebook page and she'd look at the how many women I hearted. Like she would call me literally like in the middle of the day, like, oh, I seen you heart this bitch picture. I see you hearting this bitch picture. Why are you hearting? Why there's so many hearts on this profile? And I'm like, damn, she actually went through each woman and she kind of like knew what I liked. So she was like going to all the light skinned chicks pictures on the in my friends list and going to see if I was putting hearts on they stuff. So I was just getting questioned down. And then it was like, damn. And then if I didn't answer the phone on time or whatever, it'd be a big line of questioning. If I remember I came to the phone one time, I was rushing to my phone to get it and I was breathing hard. She's like, what you just got doing, fucking? I'm like, no, I was running to the phone because I was in the gym, you know? And it was just a lot. I mean, she and I didn't feel like it was a real genuine relationship because I was looking for someone with substance and all that she could tell me was, oh, you sexy as fuck. I was like a boy toy to her. I was more like a boy toy.
I bet you
so you know, she was older. She, like I said, she had a couple $1 million, but I felt like I was really like, it was like a mother-son type of deal without the sex though. You know what I'm saying? Of course, but it was more like I was reporting to my mama. I'm like, my mama already raised me, man. And it's true, like a lot of independent women will submit if, like Asia said, if the man comes in with that mentality where he makes her feel like you can, like he ain't holding nothing back. You know what I'm saying? He can trust, she can trust him or whatever. He comes in with that demeanor of that man that can like lead. She trusts him. You feel me? Most women won't submit to you if she can't trust you.
I give you that.
If she can't trust you to lead, she's not going to submit at all. There's no submission at all. You're gonna find yourself in an ongoing battle, an ongoing war when you come home in your house. It's gonna be a power struggle in every dynamic. Whether it's where we going to the grocery store at? Oh, why did you cook this? Did you gas up the car? Did you do this? Did you do that?
Yeah.
Well, did you pay this? Well, how you expect this and then you ain't doing this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Why did you take that job? Well, I got this to do. Or if you say if you own your own business, right? And you establish yourself, the business going good, but she keep her own job, but because she refused to come over and help you because she don't trust you yet. She don't trust that your job, the business y'all got going is gonna sustain y'all. So she keeping her job because she don't trust it. I got a friend like that. His business is basically making triple of what his wife make on the job, but she won't come over and give him a hand over there. He got to outsource just the admin work, just the administrative work, the administrative side of things. He got to outsource when she can do that. Instead of hiring a secretary to come in, you know what I'm saying? She can do that, but he got to hire a secretary because she don't trust that, okay, this business I don't know if this business is going to be sustainable. I don't know if he's going to be able to handle it. I just don't know. I don't trust him. And he found himself going through an ongoing battle in that marriage. You know what I'm saying? Now, I believe independent, they can submit. A strong woman can submit, but it's based upon conditions. It's conditional. Oh, you got to be making this a certain amount of money. If you ain't making a certain amount of money, she's going to be a little bit hesitant to go all the way in and submit.
So just when you mention strong women, are we talking about, the tax bracket type of thing? Because women in different tax brackets will treat you different. We all know that, and that's the same with men too. So when you ask me what my definition of a strong woman, it has really nothing to do with finances. Right. It's just like, somebody that can stand on her own and don't really need anything from a man outside of sex and babies. You know what I mean?
Right. When I say strong woman, I'm talking about a woman that can provide for herself, can take care of herself, regardless of who in the picture, whatever's going on, she gonna find a way to survive. Right. Yeah. And what I find is that a lot of stronger women have a lot of masculine traits. Not all, but a lot of them have a lot of masculinity to them. So when you bring two people together, you got this strong alpha male and you got this quote unquote alpha female. They come together. It's just an ongoing battle because she refuses to submit. She's been so used to doing everything on her own for so long. She's used to paying her own bills, working her own jobs, doing everything for herself. When she get a man that finally can take that load off, can finally give her a little bit of comfortability, she don't know how to take it. So it's an ongoing battle. When she thinks she gonna relinquish just a little bit of power, just a little bit, she start to fight back because she feel like she's gonna be losing herself or losing some type of control or whatever. You'll find this woman fighting back. So a lot of strong women, they can submit, but a lot of them can't because they so used to doing everything on their own, everything. So when you get a man to come in and just try to take the load off, try to ease up the workload, try to make everything a little simplified, you will find that this woman kind of pushing back and kind of fighting back, and then it mess up the whole situation because this man looking at her like, well, damn, am I with a man? Like, come on, ease up a little bit. You feel me? Like, that's what I mean when I say strong women that can pretty much handle. It's a lot of women that got a lot of trauma in their life. It's women that have been in abusive relationships, women that have been sexually traumatized, sexually abused, neglected by their family, neglected by fathers, been out here in the streets. So they kind of develop this strong mentality where they got to protect themselves. They build up this wall, right? So when you finally get a man in your life that's genuine, that's coming in to properly care for you and properly love on you, those type of women will fight back. They refuse to submit because they so used to chaos and trauma and so used to the bullshit. So when you finally get a good man with the right intentions, a God-fearing man that's coming in and go all in and go hard for you, marry you, put the ring, put you in the house, pray with you, do everything that a man's supposed to do, be your covering, be your protector, create stability, create safety, create everything that you need, security. She don't know what to do with it. Those women are harder to submit.
So
I mean, you wouldn't even get to that point. You wouldn't even get to that point with those type of women. No, not at this stage, not at our age. I mean, maybe when you was younger and you ain't know no better, but at this age, when you dealing with a woman and she ain't came to a point where she recognized the trauma she been through and the things that she been through in terms of father missing or whatever trauma she got. But if she can't recognize her own traumas and deal with those, like, there's nothing wrong with a woman not being fully healed, but it's most definitely something wrong with a woman who don't know her own traumas and she take it out on the man that she's dealing with. Like, and at this stage in the game with us, bro, like, nah, we not signing up for that. Nah, we too late in life because we ain't got that type of time to waste with women or man, women with man either, like, don't recognize their own traumas or what they've been through, and they still use those traumas as reasons for why they act a certain way in a relationship. Nah, I'm not signing up for that. I'm exiting south as soon as I see that when something comes up that bothers you because of something that happened to you when you was younger, that ain't got nothing to do with me. This is a whole new thing over here. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I got compassion for you. I got understanding for you. But you're not going to use that to make me not act away or be an adult in a relationship. Like, we can't have an adult conversation about something that's going on because of something that happened to you when you was younger. Nah, I'm not signing up for that. Like, and all I'm trying to say is, like, people gotta be healed enough to be where they at a stage where their traumas don't dictate how they treat the people in their relationships. You know what I mean? Your trauma should not dictate how you treat that other person. And if you ain't got to a point where you in control of your trauma, because we all got it, no way around it. But if you ain't in control of your trauma so it don't dictate how you treat another person, you should stay to yourself because you just wasting that person's time. I hate to see man that marry a woman, she appeared to be all nice and this and that, and, you know, get married 3 years later down the line, she bringing up things that the man ain't did none, he ain't do none of it, but it was just because of stuff that happened to her in the past and you do things that resemble it, or she feel like it can compare to it, but it ain't the same thing because you ain't got the same motivation, you ain't got the same intention, you ain't got nothing like that. You just in your relationship trying to be a good dude. And, you know, she just got these, like, and it can go both ways. Man can have that too about women. Like, you know, you just out with your girls, but he like, yeah, she probably out with him. I mean, it can go both ways, but when people got those type of situations, man, you wasting other people's time. Like, I ain't got time for that. I'm going to judge you based on who you are right now. You know what I mean? I'm going to judge you based on who you are, not what I've been through, you know what I'm saying? And that's what people got to get.
I got a question for y'all. Do y'all think that women submit to men that make them feel less, but still treat them right? Do y'all think that? Go ahead.
So that's the thing. You know, I think that is definitely a reciprocal situation. The type that you described was definitely me back in my 20s, where I was just hurt and broken and just all over the place. I had to deal with a lot of trauma going on in my life, stuff that I should have never had to deal with, right? But what happened was I just did not want to be that person no more. Like, I wanted different. Like, I saw everybody else around me in chaotic situations, in unloving relationships. There was no marriage, actually, from where I'm from. You know, raised by women and stuff. We have a different type of personality, a different feeling towards men, you know? But the thing is that we have to get help for ourselves. And that's what I did in the time that I was single. I mean, I was dating and all of that, but I always consider myself single because I never really would commit to a relationship because I was so broken. And I was going through a lot. So I had to get counseling. I had to really say I had to, like, completely change my life around. And I had to start praying and start, you know, eating better and just getting myself together. I went hard in school and finished, and I just felt like I had a whole transformation in that time that I was by myself. So my husband, he got lucky. I always say this to him because So he met me at the time when I had, I was not the same person that I was just a mess. The same type of thing that you guys are talking about, just suspicious and just unloving and uncaring. That was me, just because I was hurt and I just didn't care who else I was hurting. And I know that out there that feel the same way. That's what it is. And if somebody that I have hurt is watching this right now, because I'm a completely different person, but I think that's how life works. I think that life kind of makes you and helps transform you into who you are meant to be, so that you can have those type of connections, and so that you can, be what somebody else needs to be, and vice versa. All the things that happened in my husband's life kind of, for what he needed to be as far as a father and a husband. So
right. Yeah, see, it's crazy that when I first met when me and my wife was just in the girlfriend, boyfriend, and dating stage, just meeting or whatever, we almost ain't make it, because I was tired of it, man. Like, she refused to submit. She had been through a lot of trauma. She's part of the foster care system. Just ran away from home at an early age and was just out living her life just recklessly, right? And she refused to submit, refused to give me any kind of respect at first. It was like, well, fuck what you talking about. I'm gonna do what I want, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck how you feel. It was a lack of empathy, a lack of sympathy. It was a lack of emotion. I was ready to get the fuck up out of there. Like, I can't deal with this, man. I can't. But I don't know what it was that kept me just going. Kept me praying and kept me wanting to stay with her, because it was an ongoing battle for like the first 3 years. Like, man, we just couldn't get along. It was just, she told me one day, like, I was so used to being on my own. I had never met a man that was able to come in and do everything he was doing and really properly care for me, and she didn't know how to take it. She said it scared the shit out of her, and it was wild. It was wild. When I tell you,
wild though. That's wild when you think about it. Like, that's scared. Being properly taken care of scares you. Like, how does that make sense? I don't even know. How can women even rationalize that? Unless they're looking for the downfall, like, he ain't no way he really is nice. He go do something that made me want to cut him. Like, what?
Yeah, that's like when you meet somebody nice, you be like, they're just too nice. It's something about them, right? You just can't trust them. And if you think about it, like from a animal's perspective, that have been like, walking around on the street, not being fed and just rugged, mud, everybody just treat them bad. And then when they get a home, they end up attacking or, like not living a long time because they just can't understand. It's a psychology thing. It has nothing to do with gender, really. It's just like a normal human reaction to, being in that state for so long.
Yep. I was so glad that Lord worked on her and she finally came around, and because I used to tell her, like, you need to get up out of that masculine shit. Like, I need a feminine woman, a soft feminine woman. I don't need no rebuttal. Everything ain't got to be an argument. Everything don't have to be a rebuttal. Everything don't have to be a competition. Everything don't have to be a fight. Just relax, be cool, you safe. I'm gonna protect you. We gonna do this. Like, it was just a back and forth struggle for like 3 years, and finally it just all went away. I'm like, wow. And I started to see the more affection. She wasn't affectionate at all. I was like, how the hell we have kids and you ain't even affectionate? But she started working on the affection part. I started seeing the hugs more, start seeing the kisses more, and are you okay? How was your day? I started seeing that more. I'm like, wow. So I guess those prayers and all that back and forth worked, because I was on my way out the door. I was about to run.
And I think that, it was a decision made for her, but we do realize when we have a good man, and we don't want the next woman to have them. That, that's just what it is. So maybe that is what happens, because, if just like with Tyler Perry on that little movie, if you write down a list, all the good and bad, and that good outweighs the bad, then you probably need to go ahead and do what you need to do, whatever it is that he's asking. If it's affection, it doesn't hurt. It don't cost nothing. I always say that. It don't cost nothing to be whatever your partner wants you to be. They're not asking, you know, do anything against your morals and stuff like that. They just love, and that's really what this kind of boils down to. And you said you don't really know what it is, and to me, that's what it was. That she just loved you enough to change.
Right. I appreciate that. You almost made me cry saying that, girl. You better stop. I don't want nobody to see me getting all emotional. I knew it was a reason why I shouldn't have did this show tonight, man. I'm about to cry. She just said that. Now, for real, that just touched me, man. It was a hard battle. And cousin, man, you know what I was going through, man. I'm like, I was about ready to bounce. Like, man, what the fuck can I do to get everything in order, man? Like, and part of it was probably that what you said too, Asia. Like, she didn't want to see nobody else. I used to say, man, I might as well find me somebody else. Well, go ahead, go find another bitch. Go lick that bitch ass. Go kiss that bitch. Go suck her pussy. It was all type of stuff to you. I'm like, how can you say that to somebody, man?
Well, I mean, like I said, bro, maybe then because you was younger, but at these big ages of 40-something, not doing it. I'm not giving no woman 3 years of arguing with me all the time or not being on the same page with me as I'm trying to lead us down a path. I'm not doing it. No, I ain't got that kind of time. Like, you either know how to be, you either want to be a wife or you don't.
Right.
It's that simple. You either want to be a wife or you don't, but I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm not going to do none of that. You either want to be a wife, a support system, or you don't. Because I come with a made mind on how I think things should move and how things should process. And everything that I think about will involve you and what makes the things better for us. That's how I move.
But you know what? What I noticed when you had that mentality, like everything I do is for us, they still call you selfish. Oh, you're selfish. You only do it for yourself. Yeah. Like, where the hell you get that from?
Women we don't need to deal with, bro. Nah, I don't need that type of woman in my life. Nah, I don't want to deal with a woman that feel like when you say your program includes all the things she want to do because you concerned about what she want and you want to build the best outcome for the both of y'all, and she comes back with rebuttals like, no, you don't. Say less. I can find another one. I'm not doing that.
Yo, man, you can't do that.
No more. Say less. Like, I'm just saying, we just ain't got that type of time no more. Like, we on the back half of our lives. Like, people got to stop acting like they still got all these options. Like, you still 20 years old and you can blow 10 years with somebody. That is over with. That is over with. Cut it out. Find you somebody that you can grow with, somebody that's on the same page with you, somebody that actually cares about you. Like, I mean, actually genuinely care about you. Like not that fake care, like, if you got in an accident, they wouldn't be around no more. I'm talking about somebody, if you got in an accident, they'd be there to, clean you up, wipe your ass, all that type of shit. That motherfucker, that's the type of shit I'm talking about. Like, nah, you need to, when you find you somebody like that you feel like they would care with you, they'd care about you regardless of what's going on, and they committed to the long-term prospects of y'all relationship, they committed to the long-term. See, that's something that a lot of people don't really think about, the commitment of long-term. Like, no, everybody thinking about right now, next year, this year, but nobody really be thinking about that commitment of the next 20 years, 30 years, like making those type of plans. You know what I'm saying? I'm that type of person. I'd be thinking like that. Like, if we start acting this way right now, in 10 years, 20 years, we can be here. But you got to have somebody at the same time that's willing to listen, understand that, want to move that way. But if you can't, if that woman ain't trying to be like that, it's okay. Hey, I'm just not for you. And you just not for me. It's all right. I ain't mad shit. You will find somebody, it is what it is.
I have an emotional kind of story to share when it comes to, deciding about long term. So grandmother, she married my grandfather like really early, and he passed away when they were in their 20s. They had 4 kids. And she never remarried, never anything. And she ended up living until she was like in her 90s. I can't remember how old. So she lived a long, beautiful life by herself. And I remember when she was in her bed and they had, I'm getting emotional, sorry. They called me and told me, that there was nothing really they could do. She only had a couple more days and they were going to send her home on hospice. So, You know, I went on leave. I went down there and spent a couple of days with her, and we would just have talks and things. And that was one thing that she always talked about was, you know, she was just afraid to pass by herself, you know, that she just wished that, you know, either obviously she couldn't change that he had passed, but that she had found someone, you know, to spend her life with. And now, you know, she was going to enter into whatever was getting ready to happen by herself. So for me, that's all I think about. You know, when I think about relationships and stuff, is I don't want to pass alone and be old age alone. So I want to get it with someone, and we, you know, have our kids, our grandkids and stuff, and live the rest of my life. We are getting too old. I haven't hit the 40s club yet.
Yeah. You ain't up there with the big dogs, but yeah, hey, but you got a good mind to be thinking that way at your age. Hey, man, your husband is lucky. Hey, what that brother? He lucky. That brother is lucky.
He is. Lucky man. He's a blessed man.
Blessed man, for sure.
He that findeth a wife has found a good thing. Proverbs.
For sure. You better keep that one. You better not hit the streets again. Shit.
I definitely wouldn't be hitting those streets. I'm definitely not hitting those streets now. My girl, my wife from Brooklyn, she'd come and find me.
That's what's up. That is what's up.
You know, I used to think that she didn't care. Like, oh, she really don't care. She really don't care. And she showed me some stuff, though. I'm like, yeah, I ain't about to play with her, bro. I ain't about to play. I ain't about to play. Yeah, I got how long you got, Asia? I don't want to hold you up too much longer. Are you good?
Yeah.
All right, I got another question. What kind of leadership from a man does it take to make submission feel safe instead of forced? What kind of leadership from a man does it take to make submission feel safe and not forced? A lot of women look at it as that they're being forced into submission and they start to feel unsafe.
So I guess it's a little emotional too. So my husband, he was in a really, really car accident, where basically had died, and they found him like on the side of the road, and they were able to resuscitate him and stuff. So he lives with, you know, those kind of scars, and like, you know, very sensitive about them. So when we met and we, you know, got to know each other, he opened up to me about that. And sorry, baby, you're watching this.
That's cool.
About that. And that's what I felt like it took for a man to be able to show me, you know, that they were able to be just as vulnerable as they wanted me to be. Just as loving. And being able to say, I can trust you with my innermost fears. You know, because as a man, you want to be strong, you want to be tough, but we all know that that's not always the case, right? So that's kind of what it took for me.
Wow.
That's
a blessing, because
definitely,
as a man, we always want to feel like, I always say women want to feel safe, but as a man, we want to feel safe too. We want to feel like y'all can be our safe haven. Hell, in ways, we want our women to be our protectors too, not like a physical protector, but can you protect my emotions? Yes. Can you protect my feelings sometimes? Can you protect my mind? Like, can you pray with me? Can you pray for me? Like, that means a lot.
That's something, you know, and I just have to be very sensitive about that, you know, and I always say, hey, you know, am I doing the things that you want me to do? And is there any way, you know, that, you know, I could show you better than I could tell you, you know, how much I love you. And those things kind of just happens all the time, but I learned to be that way. And I taught myself.
Yeah. Well, hey, yeah, you need to teach a class. That's what you need.
I was about to say the same thing. And guess what?
She sounds like a unicorn out here, bro. She sounds like a unicorn, bro.
I just discovered Bigfoot and a unicorn. Bigfoot is riding a unicorn tonight, man.
You know, loving my children. You know, I had 2 children before I got married. He had 3 children. And I would not have been able to submit at all or take any type of leadership or anything from him if he would not have came in loving on my kids the way he did. You know, so that was a huge thing, you know, for a single parent that's been, you know, raising kids on their own forever, you know.
Facts.
So those are the two biggest things. I mean, I can kind of go on and on about a couple of things kind of shape leadership for me. But being in the military, you know, I definitely understand that there's a structure, you know, and I always was at the top of my structure. And I already knew that I had met, you know, the quote unquote alpha male that I had been looking for. So that I needed to kind of scale back and say, okay, what do you need from me to be able to lead our family? So that's kind of where we at now. But it wasn't always like that. You know, we would bump heads a lot about parenting and all that kind of stuff. But now I just have your dad say that you can do that.
I love it. Yeah, in my household,
shit.
Yep, in my household, that was one of the things we used to get into it about. I parent different. Like, I'm more of a disciplinary, and she's disciplinary too. But I'm like, I'm to the next level disciplinary. Oh, you want to disrespect your mama? Go ahead and give me 50 push-ups right now. They don't do your chin ain't hit the floor. They'll start all over. Go catch that wall over there. Hold some cans while you catching the wall. So she was like, you a little too extreme. I'm like, nah, these kids we dealing with a different level of children these days. They are like. The moral compass is like far off with these kids, so you gotta be a little bit extra hard on these, especially these boys.
The boys,
man. So we got a house with 6 sons, so I'm gonna be a little bit more stern. And with her being the motherly, nurturing, having that nurturing spirit about herself, she didn't like it, so I had to scale back just a little bit and had to understand where she was coming from, as well as her understanding where I was coming from, and it all worked itself out. So yeah, I get it, man.
Good cop, bad cop. You gotta do good cop, bad cop. Somebody got to be one.
Some sons growing up being abusive and stuff because, you know, they felt like they were powerless growing up, you know, like kind of cycle. So definitely I'm glad that she was there to kind of, you know, step in, because as a man, like, you don't want your sons to be failures, right? You just want able to thrive on their own. That's the whole point of parenting. So me and your wife have that in common. I'm like, okay, you probably don't need to do all of that, right? But middle ground here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like Denzel from Training Day, and she was Jake.
And just speaking about leadership, just kind of like in the bedroom, taking lead, all that kind of stuff, all of that shaped what we have now. Yeah.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah, we need to, you know,
he sound like a good man. He probably got some pointers. You know what I mean?
I need to get some pointers on how to spice some things up around here, because I'll be up here like, it's been 3 months. That
brother that came in and help you change yourself into a very qualified wife for sure. I mean, the way you talk. Now you could be telling us roles. You know what I mean? At least by the way you talk, hey, you most definitely qualified as a wife. You know what I'm saying? And that's all brothers be looking for. Just somebody that can be on their team and understand, like, hey, this is the way we got to move to be better at where we trying to go. Like, this is the best route for the family. I need you to be on board with this without a lot of lip. That's it. That's all we be looking for. That's all. Help me out. Help me get here. This is the best route for us. This is what's up. We get here. We got some money saved. We got some money for vacation. All our bills paid. This is the route we need to go. We out of debt. We gotta take some sacrifice. Let's do this without the lip. That's all we be looking for.
That's it.
We don't realize that we are better when we have, you know, strong men alongside us. You know, I think that kind of gets like miscommunicated somehow, especially if you kissed a lot of toads and had a lot of terrible that we don't realize that. But I'm just kind of like a living testimony of that I really am a better person. I was good on my own, you know, and I made things happen. I was successful in my career and all of that. But when I actually like met my husband, I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt like a better person. I wanted to go out and feed the homeless. Like, he just kind of brought that stuff out of me.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. Then combining both y'all incomes also gave you that little freedom to be able to be a little more free. Like, hey, I got a husband. I know I got some help. Not like that what you was looking for, but it's the fact that dual income is way better than one income. It is what it is. Hey, I don't give a fuck. Nobody talking about, we're not about to be making like, oh, nah, you don't need, nah. Dual income household is better than a one income household. Unless that one income making millions of dollars, then we don't care. But the average people, dual income is better. So, and at the same time, that gives the woman just a little more, should get a woman even more peace, because you got a partner that's willing to put his resources with your resources to make the best outcome for y'all.
Right.
It should bring more peace, not more. It should bring more peace, more stability, more understanding, more trust. It should bring all that, and not the I lost myself, so now I got to go find my. Get out of here with that shit. But it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Hey, I had a lot of fun with y'all tonight, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't think. I kind of figured that me and Adrian was gonna hit it off like that, though, man. 'Cause she's silly too, and I'm silly. She be cracking up in the comment section, man, when I be doing certain content, bro.
Yeah, she cool, man. Hey, you cool, man. I like it.
Yeah, hey, next time we do a collab, you should have your husband come up with us.
Yeah, so he's in Malaysia now.
Okay.
Traveling and all of that, but when he gets home, I'm gonna definitely talk to him about this, because like I said, camera shy and all of that, but he knows that this is my dream and he supports me in my little endeavor.
That's what's up.
Hey, he should be camera shy. He look like Plies.
Shy. Please. And I'm like, can we film, please?
That's what's up.
But I'll keep you posted on that.
That's what's up. When you gonna come back?
Whenever you want me back. Whenever. I'm
ready
to talk.
I want you to cross stream this on your channel if you feel comfortable. I know your channel. We said some things on this episode. Maybe the next episode I keep it a little cleaner. But I forgot your channel got the family and all that stuff. And we talking some crazy stuff today. But
I'll definitely share.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can share it on you can feel free to share it on your channel or whatever. But I'm thinking like people might be looking at her like, well, she was hanging out with these losers.
Black men, like I said, I don't know any personally outside of my father. I have a really good dad, y'all. Mm-hmm. So outside of that, I don't know people that's trying to get these positive messages out, and
for sure. Well, we appreciate you. Hey, we need more like you. For sure.
Yep. And when we go live again, I'll send you a link because you on a different time frame. You on a different time schedule than us, though.
Yeah, it's 3 p.m. where I am. So.
Oh, it's 3 p.m. Okay, because we normally do. We normally do lives like Saturday nights around 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock our time would be about what 5 or 6 p.m. out there.
10,
I believe. No, we do our live streams at 10 p.m. down here in the United States of America. We do our I said it like you weren't even from here, like United States of America.
United States, where she at?
Where you at, Asia? Well, you don't got to tell us. You don't got to say it on YouTube. You don't got to say it.
I'm proud of being in Hawaii.
Right. Okay, cool.
Living life. I'm getting ready to go sit some pina coladas on the beach right now.
Look at you. I got to go to work tonight. You know what? Let me get up off it. Let me get off my channel. No playing.
That's what's up.
Yes, indeed. It's been nice, y'all. I'm about to sign off of here, get ready to get out for the night, and do this quick little work I got to do.
All right, bro.
Yeah, and I'll share this with y'all so I can put it on y'all channel. I appreciate you a lot, Asia. It's been nice. I want you to come back.
Yes.
It was nice meeting you, Asia. It was definitely nice meeting you. Man.
was
It's rare to find, like you a unicorn. We need more unicorns out here.
Yes, indeed. All right, hit me up, y'all.
No doubt. All right, brother. All right, guys.
Your boy Deonte, I'm out. Peace.